easy for us to look at everyone else. Like I think I said this earlier. I walk into a room and I feel like I'm the child that walked into the room because that's sometimes how I see myself. Like as a kid that's still figuring out the adult world.
I think we all do.
And that's the thing.
No matter how
I think
successful
that's
we
literally
are.
something all of us do. No matter what field, how old, how young. We're still all just figuring a lot of this out as we go.
All right, hello everybody. It is Friday Conversations. We're here at Hotel Indigo. We have a great room today. I'm super excited. We've got a great guest. Dylan, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Christine, thanks for being here, hosting. There's the audio. I need to mute that. I think that should do it. All right, we're good. And Mark wasn't. We find out who else in the room didn't mute their device, including myself, 9 times out of 10. So yeah, all right, here we go. We're going to start things off with introductions. So we'd like to know who's in the room, what's going on, what do you do, and how can people connect with you. And I like to put the person on my left on the spot, and that happens to be this guy.
Hello, my name is Leonidas Biron, son of Jonathan and Melissa Biron. Soon meet. Currently still working on school, but after I'm done with school, which is coming up rapidly in the next couple of days, I will be working on my PC building business. So if you know anybody that knows anything about PCs, or if you do yourself, I'd love to talk to you.
I'm Melissa Biron. I'm with Thrive Wellness, and I am a metabolic coach. So I help people with what's going on the inside of their body in a very simple, easy way. Love to get to know you.
Hi, I'm Phyllis Beaupre. I own Mattress Today Spokane. We can help you get some great sleep. And we just moved to the North Monroe Business District, so we're really excited about our new location.
My name is Dylan Lipsker, and I own Big City Art Gallery and Big City Community Art Gallery here in town on West First Avenue, 1107 and 1105, and art studios at 1115 and 1117. Currently have about half a block.
Yeah.
Not that really matters, but it's cool to say.
Yeah, it is. I'm Christine, and I own Posted Consulting. We're a public relations firm here in Spokane, and I'm also a board member for Counterculture Spokane.
All right, Rob Reuter here with Idic Designs. I work with clients who want to make sense of their technology and their investments in the same, making sure it works for them. So Rob Reuter with Idic Designs.
I'm Paz with Rainbow Financial Protection. If you get hurt or sick, I have a feeling that the hospital is probably going to be okay. So that's not the part I worry about. I keep a roof over your head, food on your table when you go through medical issues, and I really embrace standing out. So I'm excited to be here.
I'm Dave Ribble from Standout Marketing and Standout Mastery, and we love to work with people to help them stand out. So I'm really interested to hear what goes on today, and hope I can contribute to it, but I'm really glad you're here. Thank you.
My name is Philip Fullerton, and there's 2 sides to my business. On one side, I help local businesses with their retirement plans, so 401ks, simple IRAs, stuff like that. On the other side is more like financial advising, so helping families and individuals feel safe and secure in their future.
Good afternoon. I'm Mark Luna with New American Funding, mortgage home loan consultant, doing residential mortgage and lending the money that people need most.
And I'm Tony Testatori with the Tony T Insurance Agency by Country Financial. I help with auto, home, commercial, and business insurance. So yeah.
Yeah, my name's Lauren Baker. Hi, everybody. Nice to see many of you I know, some I don't. So I work with a company called Perfectus Business Consulting, but really what I do is I'm a trusted strategic advisor. So I help entrepreneurs figure out what they're doing with their business, how they want to grow, how they want to leave.
Welcome.
Very nice. My name is Chris Durkin. I'm with a company called WannaWare, WANNAWARE. And we do AI and automation. We can build websites, automations for your business, and we just love to work with any local business that wants to work with us. So, and it's my first time here, so nice to meet everybody.
Yeah, fabulous. Welcome, everybody. I'm Jonathan Biron. I am a realtor here in Spokane. So actually talking to Tony about first-time buyers. Everybody from a first-time buyer to I helped somebody that was like their 11th home purchase. And this is bragging, and I feel uncomfortable bragging, but they're like, we've bought and sold a lot of houses, and you're the best experience we've ever had. So I like to make it a good experience, and I'm not ashamed of that. So if you have had a bad experience with real estate, or you've never engaged with real estate, I'd love to chat with you and help you have a really good experience getting into real estate for the first time or the millionth time. Like that song, Kids from age 2 to 92. Literally Christmas song popped in my head. So my wife, who's here, Melissa, can relate, and everybody else is getting to experience this. I'm all over the place, and I love it. And so yeah, song pops into my head, and I'm gonna try to quote it and do it poorly and not be ashamed of that either. Which brings us to our topic, which as you guys are going around the room, I just wanted to jump in over and over and over again, because so many of you do stand out in your own way. And I love that Dave has stand out on his blazer. Like that is what Dave coaches and teaches. Dylan, like you were talking about your art galleries and buildings. Like I was down here, just downtown, and like walking past those galleries. I'm like, what is like so cool, such a unique thing. I hope we don't spend our whole time there, but I want to know more about that. Maybe get a personal tour, all those things. We obviously can't do that with the Owl camera, but like, I'm super excited about that.
Absolutely. Standing out is always one of those things we're told not to do it when we're younger, to kind of sit in the classroom, blend in, don't disrupt. Disrupting is so much fun. I find that when I disrupt in a positive way, people remember you. They want to disrupt with you. They know it's hard. We're in a world where, again, we're told not to, so we're a little sheepish. It just takes one. Like earlier today, I was at the downtown Spokane business partnership meeting, the state of Spokane. The keynote speaker pulled up a video that I think most of us have seen at the gorge, where one person is dancing. And then next thing you know, a couple seconds later, another person shows up. Within a minute or two, half the entire field is filled with people dancing. Because sometimes it just takes that one person, because we all want to be dancing. It just takes one to kind of get us started. I love dancing. So why not get us all started?
I'm super curious how many people right now are panicking that we're gonna start dancing. No, I don't want to dance. But also, before we got started, you were talking about being on the outside of a room where you see people in there, and it's like, ooh, what's going on in there? And like feeling that exact shyness of like, I think that person's cool. I want to talk to them, but they probably don't want to talk to them. Like all of that.
And we all experience that same thing. I know I'm a really shy person. I might not seem like it, but last month I saw everybody here meeting. I was on the other side. I kind of peeked in, but I didn't walk through. It's one of those things that I still have to remind myself, walk through that door. I know we all still have to remind ourselves, even though we're sitting here, we have to still walk through that door. I think I'm comfortable with it until I get to that door sometimes. And I turn around and I'm like, no one invited me, so I'll come next time. Well, this time you guys invited me.
Yeah. This is perfect. I'm excited to explore all of this. Real quick, we want to thank Hotel Indigo. Erica, who hosts us here, is not in the room at the moment. She had a client that she had to, I was going to say deal with. That's a horrible way of saying it. That she had an interaction with. She needed to go work with them. So she hopefully would be back to talk a little bit about Hotel Indigo. And then Rob Reuter, every week in, week out, hosting the lunch. This lunch was absolutely amazing. Idic Designs for all your
And compliments to the Hotel Indigo chef, because they put on a great luncheon for us. So thanks to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic collaboration. And it is a restaurant. So even if you're not staying at the hotel, come down and just have lunch, have dinner here at the Hotel Indigo. Actually, I don't think they do lunch. Come down for dinner.
Soon, not yet.
Lunch is
but
coming
soon.
soon.
It's 7 days a week now. And in the coming weeks, months, there will be an announcement, going to be doing lunches, and you can come and say hi to me all the time next door.
Excellent, excellent.
Selfless plug.
Absolutely. And to your point, and this is for the folks watching at home, you are invited. We would love to have you here in the room interacting with us. This is open to everybody. And just want to super appreciate your vulnerability, because I feel that too. And I think a lot of people would look at me and be like, there's no way that you feel intimidated to walk into a room. I do. There's a threshold, and I don't care how long you've been doing this. I don't care how confident you are in yourself. You hit this wall, and it can be very intimidating. And so what I would say is, looking around the room, I know most of the people in this room very well, and a few of them I'm getting to know. Not a single person here is going to chase you out. Like, you are welcome to Friday Conversations. We would love to have you. And I'm looking around the room at people nodding. So come check it out on a Friday. We would love to have you. Christine, you have a magical ability to find incredible guests, to bring an idea into focus. So I'm going to turn it over to you and tell us what we're talking about today.
Yeah. So when we think of things to do and art to go look at and content to consume and just this everlasting noise that exists in the world, right? It can be hard to stand out. If there's someone that I know that has created an original vision for themselves and created this wonderful brand that is so iconic, it is my friend Dylan over here.
I think it's, there's a lot of trial and error when it comes to standing out. The things that we sometimes think, oh, that's gonna make me stand out. It makes you be the only person in a room. You might be standing out, but there's no one else there. I've found with at least my own personal, not just branding myself, but branding something bigger than me has helped. My first place, I was very, I'm just gonna throw the word arrogant out there, very pompous. I called it D Lips Big City Art Gallery. Not a person ever called it that. Everyone just called it Big City Art Gallery. And I'm like, but I put my name first. Nobody cared. I thought that's what was gonna get me to stand out. Once I started embracing something bigger than me, Big City Art Gallery, that wasn't just me putting my name out there. People are like, I've heard of you now. Who are in the number? Like, wait, you're Dylan? This is the same guy? Yeah, same guy. Same Dick D Lips, Big City Art Gallery. It's a trip. But then I know I'm just kind of a little all over the place. It's a fine line of being you. I was talking about this earlier. I don't know if I would like to be in a room with me. Like, I love me, don't get me wrong, but not two of me. So that's what I say to everybody. Like, don't try to copy something someone else you're seeing do to stand out.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see that. I don't like that. Be you.
Yeah.
I'm being me. And it's hard to tell someone to say, well, be you. What is you? Find it. Learn that. In life, that's all of our task, is to find out what makes you you in every aspect of it. So it's kind of fun to have this topic come up, which makes us think about it more. It redirects that question to not just what makes me stand out, but what makes me me.
Yeah, it's good.
I'd love to maybe chat about some of the moments where, as you were creating some of your art in Big City Art Gallery, where you were like, hey, I think this might become like my personal style when it comes to art, and how you kind of curated that over the years.
The idea of having something that someone can look at and go, I know who that is. I know what that is. The golden arches of McDonald's are a giant thing. We all know. Is that brand recognition, trying to find that. It's a fine line. It's part us and part our product. I want to believe that it's 100% my product and that anybody could be doing it. And then I realize when I'm not in there, it's not selling as much. There's a kind of a bridge that has to be gapped, or gap that has to be bridged. And then my brain's backwards sometimes. You can tell. When it comes to individual and standing out, I know I'm a little cloudy at the moment. I apologize about that.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
You're not a problem.
Yeah, we're following.
Yeah.
I am downtown a lot, and I see a lot of the same faces. There's a lot of the faces that look up and they wave and they smile. I know that now. The same faces that I see the same amount of times that don't look up, I'm trying to acknowledge them. Those are the kind of the people that I wish were tuning in today. The ones that we can just tell to look up, acknowledge one another, and to get out of your own little bubble and you'll start standing out. Just engage people. Everybody wants to be engaged. Everybody wants to be invited to something. Invite them to the conversation.
100%. I think that really goes, aligns with what I've seen you do with your art gallery, with the different collaborations you have, the different artists that you work with in the space.
Trying to build something larger than ourselves. I opened with my own art gallery, and then I caught wind that another space was available. I added it selfishly because I didn't want someone else to have it. Let's just be honest. I was like, I want to control on what's going on here. I have a vision. I have an idea. I secured the spot before I ever knew what I wanted in there. It made sense for me to put something art in there. It seemed really jerkish to put my own art in there. So I was like, no, we can't do that. Optics. Optics are where it's at. And also I love Spokane, born and raised here. It's been one of those things when I got started showing art, there wasn't a path. There wasn't like, this is how you do it. This is how you're successful. It was, you get to show at a restaurant. You get to show a place that are going to not feel fulfilling. You're never going to feel like you actually had a show. I had to leave Spokane and go to Coeur d'Alene before I really got my start on Sherman Avenue, where they have a defined district.
Yep.
That put the idea in my head of, okay, cool, let's do that. Let's make it easier, not just for myself, but for everybody. It sucks. The term starving artist is something we're all familiar with. Thriving artist isn't, but it really is a thing. It's changing the narrative and doing our part to change the narrative. All of a sudden, when we're doing that, people will start telling your story for you too, opposed to me just saying, let me tell you about what I'm doing for me. When it's something bigger than you, everybody wants to be involved. And that's how things have just been continuing to expand and expand. Earlier today, the mayor at the business meeting announced the coolest thing in the world, the development of the new downtown art district. Spokane has been a place that hasn't had one for way too long. And we'll have that defined here soon. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to tune into that, but I did see that there was going to be like an art alley. Is that correct?
Yes, so the alley from Madison to Jefferson on First, between First and Second, is going to be known as Vintage Alley. It's going to have 300 feet of Chris Bovee mural that is paying homage to Spokane. It's gonna, a lot of the businesses that are no longer here are gonna be being represented in our alley. We're going to be receiving the lights, the bulb lighting for the entirety of it. Chris Batten with Rentcore has offered to fund the lighting for the next 5 years, which is pretty cool. So we're keeping the lights on. And then Chris Bovee is adding his vintage neon to the alley. So we're going to have the Ready Kilowatt. We're going to have the old, I believe, Luigi sign, the things from the White Elephant. We're gonna have things that are iconically us here.
So cool.
To give an area. And before, I mean, I'm not trying to say I did this. It's been really fun though. Like when I learned to step out and not get the attention for it, I've gotten so much more done because we're all a team, opposed to it being, this is one person's project. No. We're not putting a name on it, and every single person is equally excited about it. So we're getting things done. And that's what helps standing out, is not just being you. Kind of
Truly
forming
resonates
that
with me,
team, that community, because in Spokane, we're all in the same boat together.
Yeah.
It's an awesome boat, but I mean, there's maybe a little water to stick out still.
So I've been a musician for, gosh, I mean, I started singing for bands in high school and I just haven't stopped since. And in high school, I was pretty sure that was gonna be my career, and that's how I was gonna make all my money. I was gonna be a big rock star. And I went ahead and smashed my head against that brick wall for quite a while. And there's something to be observed about doing something for the sake of attention, as opposed to doing something because you love it. So I gave up on that idea of being a rock star, and I got a real job, and I still play music, but I play music because I love it. And I'll make more money playing music than I ever did when I was trying to make money playing music.
Hey, I was actually just looking up because as Dylan was first talking about this, I was thinking of a quote that just kind of quickly circulated. And I was looking it up to make sure I attributed it correctly. Apparently its origin is in dispute as to who actually said it first. But it says people don't really care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I think what you're preaching here is that when you get out of yourself and you start looking at what can I do, what can I use of my resources to shine the light on others, that's when you begin to stand out, because they're not looking at you, they're looking at a reflection of themselves. They're going, this is something I'm a part of. I think that's what we're trying to capture in Friday conversations, right, Jonathan?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just what we're doing here is trying to shine a light on everyone else and ask them, what do you think? Where are you at? What motivates you in doing this thing we call life?
It's such an interesting paradox, and this is actually a good segue to like the room. It is an like it's a give and take. Like if all I do is just sit quietly in the corner and observe and like see people, then you don't get to hear or feel what I'm processing. But if all I do is just, all right, this is the John Biron show, let's go, then like there's no
Reciprocity.
Thank you. Easy for me to say. So I'm super curious, as this is like, and for me, this is just like fireworks. I'm just like, oh man, I just want to jump in with all the different things, but we're here to hear from everybody. So kind of start to like jump in with like, oh, this is resonating and this is where it showed up for me.
Yeah, I think, man, I think what you're saying, brother, really resonates like this. There's an other centeredness that when you're in that framework in our heads, right? It's not about me, it's the we. I'm a we over me kind of person. That something happens that releases you. So man, I think that really resonates with all of us. It's interesting thinking about, this is more philosophical, sorry. But we live in a time where, so I'm 50, before this, now we all see each other. And so, we can use, if I say the word influencer, there's some thoughts in our heads immediately about what we think about that. So it's interesting. I feel like there's a tension in our culture now, where we're all told, go show yourself, show yourself, show yourself, be original, be original. And if everybody's going to show yourself, be original, it is interesting how you stand out then. And so I don't have any answer, but it feels like there's a real tension there. Like, how do I be the authentic me that people appreciate? When that's what everybody's doing at the same time.
We have 2 eyes, 2 ears.
Yeah.
Listen just as much as we look, it's one of those, we have 1 mouth to do half of that. It's people want to learn about you, but they also, we're all stuck in our own world. We're the center of our universe. And we're always going to be. We have to be our biggest proponents. We have to be our biggest cheerleaders in life because no one else has enough time to do that. I can't expect someone to say my name more than me. But there's also that fine line of remembering, I'm not the center of this world. I'm the center of my world, but not the center of this world. And we're all coexisting. And we all want to share our story. As much as I want all of you to hear mine, I know all of you want me to hear yours just as much. So it's just being receptive and remembering that as special as we feel we are, everybody is, not everybody, but just about everybody is pretty special.
Yeah. That's funny. I've always like thought of it as a 2-to-1 ratio, right? You have like 2 ears, so you should listen twice as much as you talk, but you just like 4x that, 2 eyes, 2 ears, so it's 4-to-1.
Yeah. My math was off there too.
I have a question. So how do you, in your life, walk the line of just looking out for yourself, for being your biggest cheerleader, and then also being a part of something bigger?
So from a different walk of life, before I ever got into art, I didn't have any direction in life. All I wanted was to have fun. I learned really quickly, it didn't matter what everybody else thought about me. And I know that's a simple thing. It's harder to kind of really embrace that. I'm not going to, though I guess I say, as I'm checking myself, because I didn't walk through that door last month. So that's maybe a lot. I do still care what people think. I try not to. As an artist, it's fun because you have a little more leeway. You get to kind of stress that individual. My brain went farted. But it went somewhere else. Can we repeat the question? Because I was gonna go on to a tangent that you're gonna give me a look.
No, no. Well, the way I'm thinking right now is my wife and I have a baby on the way, which is awesome. We're really excited about it. And I know, and I work in finance, so that whole industry is just, it's cutthroat and all you're thinking about is money and everyone's worried about their money and blah, 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 which I personally don't think that's the way you should view things. Life is a lot more than just money. So I know when I raise my kid that I'm not going to be teaching him how to value money over things or how to value himself and his own things that he wants to do, his aspirations over the bigger picture. So I was just curious how you handle that in your life, because it's a tough thing to do. Everyone in business, it's hard to not just be focused on yourself.
So I had a advantage and a disadvantage. Years ago, the long short, I had an accident. I was a dummy and I was on the back of an ATV. 70 miles an hour, the driver lost control. We were on the edge of a cliff. He jumped, I stayed on. I hit the tree that we were approaching and then I went over a cliff. I landed a little over 90 feet down. It sucked. Just under 80 broken bones.
It sucked, yeah.
I lent my head into the tree as we do, and when I was laying waiting for the helicopter's rappelling unit to come and get me, I never lost consciousness. And the only thing I really remember taking from that was this ultimate sense of peace. I hadn't done anything with my life, but there wasn't the sense of like a life not fulfilled. Life was just, I was positive at that point it was done, but I was really content. That feeling never left. That was the changing of my world. I know it sucks to say you have to have because you don't have to have something bad like that happen to hit the realization. But if my life was over that day and I was already content with it, do whatever I want with the rest of it, but make sure that I'm content with it and happy and having fun. And there's that fine line of, we don't want to impinge on other people. So don't do it at others' expenses. But this is my life to live. So I'm going to live it the way that feels right. It's different for all of us. So there isn't this is how you to teach it to not focus on material things or not possessions, or to focus more on that and not just be so free spirited. I don't know the way to go about it for everybody else, aside from hitting a tree. But that works wonders.
Did anyone else just get chills with that story? That was so interesting. I didn't know that story. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm good at flying, not landing.
The funny connection now that I have is I didn't do 90 feet, but in my 20s, I actually rolled a three-wheeler into a creek bed. And I have memories going up to the point in which I was looking at that gap going, okay, I knew what I needed to do. I didn't do it. And the next thing I know is I was walking down the trail with my arm in a sling, my head in somebody else's t-shirt. And the first thing that I recognized was that there was these memories of this person called Rob. And I was going, is that me? Or is that just some, dream memories, what, And I had that sense at that moment that I had a choice. I could accept those, or I could invent who I was and what I did and how I did it. And somewhere I ended up merging those two realities together. Yes, I am the sum of the experiences, but I am also the creator of who I am and what I believe and do with people.
Wow.
And that, so traumatic experience does a lot of that for us.
We could all use a little bit of that in our lives, but to walk away from.
Can I make an observation? So you're the kind of person that you don't have to say a word and you stand out, but you're also self-proclaiming that you are a shy person. I identify that way as well. My observation is that maybe, and don't take this the wrong way, but maybe you're overcompensating. And I mean, I think I am as well. And I think my advice to anyone who is even a little bit shy is to, yes, please overcompensate, get out of your shell.
It's easy for us to look at everyone else. Like, I think I said this earlier. I walk into a room and I feel like I'm the child that walked into the room, because that's sometimes how I see myself. Like as a kid that's still figuring out the adult world.
I think we all do.
And that's the thing.
No matter how
I think
successful
that's
we
literally
are.
something all of us do, no matter what field, how old, how young. We're still all just figuring a lot of this out as we go.
There's also something to be said for the fact, I guess, that there's an introvert, there's an extrovert, and there's an omnivert. And the omnivert typically goes with whatever needs to be done or how something needs to be approached in the moment. And then you revert back to who you really are. I find that fascinating.
For sure.
I like that there's three, because I swear when I was in school, there was just two,
Yeah.
introvert and extrovert, and you're like, I don't know which one I am. So it's nice to have three.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
One of the things that I love that you do is every month you do the First Friday Art Gallery. And I love the concept of First Friday. Who in here has not heard of First Friday? Okay, so let's fill you guys in. So First Friday is a monthly celebration of Spokane's art scene. It happens on the first Friday of every month, and late afternoon to early evening, all of these different galleries, wineries, coffee shops, restaurants, barber shops, tattoo parlors, the works, all host local artists. And it's this wonderful event of just traveling around, exploring the different galleries, exploring different businesses and different restaurants, and exploring art in our community. And one of the coolest places to stop, in my opinion, is Big City Art Gallery. Can you tell us a little bit about how you put together your First Friday shows, what it means to be part of First Friday, and tell us about maybe your next First Friday event?
Absolutely. So First Friday is a way again for us to be larger than just the single. It's the entirety of the collective of the art community here. There's somewhere generally in between like 30 to 45 different places that are in the downtown business improvement district, the downtown bid, that all partake in First Friday. It's a way for, wineries, for coffee shops, for you name it, to reach that market, to also have the artists say, we're here. All my friends and all my family are gonna come into new exposure to businesses and getting those businesses exposed to art. You look around most walls, there's plenty of room for art. It's one of those things that I'm actively trying to get artists comfortable with going to places. If there's someone that they want to show art, that there isn't art on the wall, knock on the door, ask them, say, hey, can I put my art on the wall? 99 out of 100 times, you're going to hear a happy yes.
Yeah.
Business owners generally, I know I'm getting a little off topic, but generally don't have the walls, the look are the last thought that they're putting into their business. When the artist can then say, hey, I can take care of a problem for you that you didn't even know was a problem. The businesses are really accepting to it. That's how we have, like I say, some months, 50 different places downtown to check out that are showing art.
The other question though is, how does the other art forms also work together? Do you have music and?
Yes, so at my place, I built a stage on the second floor so I can have live music. Art and music go hand in hand, just at most of the places.
So does wine.
unless- Yeah. It's most places that show that are large enough to have music do have music. I understand that there are some places that are smaller that just can't accommodate that. But it's kind of bridging that gap because art isn't just something we see, it's what we hear, it's what we experience. And trying to show that that's part of the whole, because currently we sit right now in what's the entertainment parking district. I hate that name. The arts are something that are all encompassing. We're going to be losing that term entertainer here for the Fox, for the symphony, for the big. They are not just entertainers that are here to play a song and to dance for me. They are artists and to be respected as the arts. So that's one thing here with the First Fridays. We try to encompass all of the arts, not just what we're trained to think of when we hear the word art, you picture a painting. It's how we feel. Art is more than just something we can put to words. So it's for myself, I have a community art gallery. Now, here in town, a lot of the art galleries switch it up every month. Nothing wrong with that. I think that's a great model. It gets a lot of different exposure, but for the artist itself, it leaves a disingenuous feeling to where you never got that exact exposure. Art is not one of those things that generally people walk in if they did not know you exist. They're not leaving that day generally with a piece. We have such limited space on our walls in our homes, in our lives for art. It's something that we think about. So I've created a place where people have 4 to 6 month shows so they can build a footprint, so they can try to take that next step. I hate hearing the term when I hear people ask other artists, well, what's your day job? That just digs so deep. Like you assume that someone couldn't just make it as an artist, first of all. And it's one of those, the stereotypes that I'm trying to change. So here at Big City Art Gallery, it's longer shows. So people know that they can come back in a month and still see that same artist, talk to them, get more information, build that bond. With the limited space, we want to have a connection to the pieces on our wall. We want to have connections to the community, and allowing places and people to have that connection and community is something that I'm trying to do at Big City Arts. And then I'm at Big City Art Gallery always, because that's my place. Selfishly, I couldn't also open an art gallery and not open another one. The amount of people that were like, when can I show? I was like, never, because this one's mine. And I realized I can't do that all the time. So it caused me to open up another one. And we'll see. The hope and the goal is to continue to open them up. And then with the, I know I'm getting a little off topic, but a little self-promotion, the Indigo Hotel, someday the grand scheme is to be, to have a Big City Art in multiple Indigos in different cities.
That's very, very cool.
Huh.
Wow.
That's very amazing. When I went to just add to, sorry to interrupt. Last month, First Friday, my husband and I, he's the extrovert, so you know, some of you met him. I mean, we went to, you know, First Friday, I was tired. I had a couple beers. I wanted to go home. And he's like, no, we gotta go to this place. You gotta meet this Dylan guy. He's really cool. And what was really cool is you took us around and explained some of your pieces because they were over my head. And it was just, you gotta go. I've already told 2 people here. Have you been there yet? You gotta go. So everybody, you gotta go. It's so cool.
It's something to be experienced. I get a lot of younger people I see walk past my doors a lot, and it'll be like 8 to 10 times after they walk past. One of them will work up the courage to open the door and go, how much does it cost to come in?
Oh my gosh.
No, I don't know. That is something that blew my mind the first time. I'm like, get in here, it's free. I wanted to be like $5. But it's wild. We have this stereotype and the stigma that art is really stuffy. That I mean, I love the museums, but everything, we have this idea that everything is so prim and proper. It's really fun to be able to be in there and engage with people and show them that art doesn't have to feel like that. You can actually leave here feeling like, wow, my battery's a little more charged than that was the drain. When we're told to constantly just be on our best behavior, not to come in here and wreck the place, but I really just enjoy it and experience it. It's changed the feel and the vibe, and it's helped. Like, I mean, the word of mouth is huge. That's how a lot of us survive. It's really fun to be able to hear firsthand that it's working.
Another question I have is, how are you able to, if at all, promote the idea of anybody, anytime wanting to become an artist,
Um, it's not for everybody all the time.
right?
That's it's
Are there places though that people can get involved and just try it out?
yes. There's a lot of good references here in town. Now I'm gonna say one, and he might be like, stop saying my name, but there's a guy, Denny Carmen here in town.
I know.
He
He's
was a great resource when I first got started.
Yep.
He has a gallery on Lincoln Monroe. I can't remember. It's right across the street from Huckleberry's, and like 11th. It's called Chrysalis.
Yeah.
He was managing a place when I first got started. Took me under my wing or under his wing and helped. Now I refer people to him because he's a good, genuine person who has his tentacles everywhere in the art community, whether it be showing at Tidyman's out in Indian Trail or showing at doctor's offices out in the valley, you name it. He has a lot of those pathways already developed. It's just kind of getting people aware of how to go about finding him as a resource. And I try not to overload him by sending people there. I know I've been guilty in the past of sending people I just didn't want to deal with there. So bless his heart, Denny's amazing. Love you, Denny. But there's people like that are a incredible start who he can say, if you want to get started working, if you want to learn how to, he has so much of that. And we have several people here in town that are good stewards of the information. He just happens to be one that I can't say his name enough because he never did me wrong. There was never this sense of what is he trying to get out of this? So I continue to say his name and I get people coming back saying, thank you for telling me about Denny.
I love that. A takeaway that I've been kind of pulling from this conversation over and over again, which relating to the idea of standing out in a crowded market, is that while the advice that people often give is to work on yourself and really hone like your personal brand, it's a lot easier to kind of build that and build out yourself when you focus on everything outside of you as well and focus on building community and bringing people in. So I really love what you built here at Big City Art Gallery.
Thank you. Thank you. Part of it also is like, gotta do cool stuff. I mean, like, we all think the things that we do are cool, but it really helps when other people do too.
Hopefully we do those things with cool people too.
Exactly, like everybody here. Yeah. I thought that was gonna get better received.
I think there's so many threads we're all just processing, which is really a good segue. A thing that we like to do about this time is just kind of like, for those of us that are the natural, like, we like force ourselves to take a step back and let those that are a little bit more reserved, a little bit more process, and then share something. So I'm kind of looking at the quiet people in the room that you're not quiet because you don't have anything to share. You're quiet because you're so respectful of everyone else's voice. You're very good at listening, very good at seeing. We want to hear from you as well. So I'm gonna keep kind of talking while I give you time to process, but we're gonna like do a little pause and hopefully somebody's just gonna jump right in with.
I had something, just want to dovetail on what Christine was saying. It's like, you take something like as mundane as, the grocery store business, right? I mean, there's big competition, especially in the city of grocery stores from every brand out there. But anyways, you take like, something like Trader Joe's, they have great art all the time, very unique in their stores, and it relates right to the local community, and it's just so cool. It's always changing and it's different, and it just makes, with the little, check stand aisles, everyone's got an individual street name that really exists, from Thor Street, Lincoln, and this and that, you know, when you go to and it just kind of brings the whole community together. It's so cool. And then, of course, it forces you to the store, and of course, they're always packed day and night, you know, and it's not just plain, you know, look at the shiny tomatoes and the bananas like at a plain Jane Safeway, you know, or maybe a Yolks or something like that, that just doesn't have that community feel, that local flavor, right? So, I mean, it really makes them stand out. And they do this all over the place in all their stores nationwide. They really place, oh, where are we? Oh, we're in Indianapolis, Indiana. All right, well, let's make it feel like we're part of the community with the parks and the falls and all the things, right?
Good stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Something that I keep coming back to is when you're talking about, you know, I just want to have fun. And I love that story you shared with me a little bit before we started, and it really made me think about, you know, times in my own life when I was just playing and having fun. And I'm sure we all have that. And I think it's really important to remember those times of playing and having fun, because there can be so much more openness during those times in our lives, and openness to new ideas, new thoughts, new friendships, new communities. And I think it's such a beautiful thing, really, when we're really coming back to when we were kids. And you talked about, like, you know, where are the kids in the room? Well, and I was like, "Hey, nice, he's got you." And but it's really, really true in our own lives. Like, we need to go back to the roots, right? And what a fun, beautiful thing when we're thinking about the playtime in our life. And you know, what are the hobbies? What are the things that you're doing in your life? I've really been listening to a lot of people about, like, they feel stuck. And it's like, well, what are you doing to play, to have fun? Are you, you know, digging out the paint set? Are you getting out in nature? Are you looking for mushrooms? Or, like, what's your play in life? Like, what is the spark? And, you know, there's a lot of people that are just like, you look at them and you're like, where's the spark in their life? And you see a lot of dullness. But if you bring that back into your life, like, bring that spark back, that can be such a beautiful thing.
Competition has a way of removing that spark and the dullness. Sure. And adding dullness, I should say. We get stuck on the words like competition. We're competing against everyone else in the same field. Instead of just changing the narrative to ourselves, instead of competition, it's a collective success. If I'm not competing to do better than anyone, I'm just out for, you know, for, like I say, a collective success. And I'm not to tie it back, but like to an art district. Instead of just going, how can I have the most successful art gallery? How can I build somewhere for all of the art galleries to be successful? There is enough for all of us.
Yeah.
We're not competing in all of our fields. It's not like there's just $1 that we're all competing for. There's not just that one. There's enough for all of us to go around. Once we get out of that idea of competition and embrace the trueness of the collective success, we're all way more successful. That's why all of us are here, to do that same thing. And then it adds that spark. It's the negativity of things like competition. These words that have this negative connotation, we feel it when we hear it in our own thoughts. Even if we're not saying it out loud, we still feel the negativity that carries, instead of just redirecting it when we're hearing our own narrative. And those are a lot of the things that we can just do for ourselves to help. And then all of a sudden that spark comes out again.
Yeah.
And we all want to be around people that make us feel like the best version of us. And when we have that extra little pop in our step, that little bit of spark, people feed off of it. It's one of those things you're like, wow, I didn't realize they were so cool. I thought I was the coolest person in the room. Little did I know. And it's just that collective spark has a way of fueling an entirety of the community.
It's interesting, when you started that sentence about competition, I thought you were going to the opposite direction with it, because there is something to, like, if I'm running, right, and like I'm just running to run, meh, right? But if this guy and I are gonna like race each other, and there's a sense of competition of like, oh, okay, like we're talking about, we're planning on running in Bloomsday next time that Bloomsday comes up. And like, there's a little thing in me that's like, I can't let my son beat me. I gotta work out. I gotta, get into this. And so I do think there's like a healthy competition that also looks like, it's not like I'm better than you because I win the race or he's better than me, but it is like, okay, let's go, and so like with what you're building, right? Like the art, like there is a sense of like, I want my art gallery to be the one that people like have to be in, like this is the spot. And I want my art gallery to be the one that people want to go see art in. So like there is a sense of like, I want to do, and it's not to like fluff up this egotistical, I'm the best person in the whole city. And that's where we find that tension.
Well, I mean, you have to believe in yourself. You have to be confident. I don't have the best art gallery in town. I have the best art gallery I can have. And that's the biggest difference, is not judging it against what everybody else is doing. It's just judging of what I'm capable of doing.
Yeah.
And it's really cool when you see what you're capable of doing, you go, I can do more.
I was gonna pick up on that because first thing, when you start talking about that sense of competition, you've got, a classic as Pete Carroll of the Seahawks. One of the things that when he first took over, one of the things he did was publish his book that made this clear case. He says, it's not about us against them. It's about you against your best. And they are the steel against which you are measuring. Am I doing my best? Some days you're gonna win that battle and you're gonna succeed. And other days you're gonna discover you've got a few things to work on still. But last thought I wanted to share, because this hit me hard today, is I picked up an article from a speaker or writer that I follow a lot, Tamsin Webster, and I think it relates to this too. And she was talking today about what's our purpose, what are we doing? And she started out the article saying, I know what you are. You're a sense giver. And what she said is, we're all trying to make sense of this world around us. Sense making is our existence. And there are those who are sense givers, who actually engage in helping others make sense of that. And as a result, they discover their meaning. They make meaning with you. And a lot of the things I've heard you talk about, to me, keep resonating with. You're giving people a sense of purpose, a sense of this is for me. I mean, how do we know? You just talked about competition. It's not competition between art galleries. It's because you are going to resonate with certain people and you are going to give them purpose and meaning and sense, because they're going to walk in and go, this is my place. Not everyone is going to respond that way. That's why there's room for another gallery right next door that gives other people a complete sense of, I get this is me.
Absolutely. And no way is right or wrong. Each one is, well, actually, each one is right. I was wrong. Yeah. Each approach is right, which is kind of one of those things that we have to remember is what's right for us isn't right for everybody, but just do what's right for you. You'll stand out.
That's awesome. So we're getting close to the end. Erica was able to join us. I'd love, Erica, if you could just maybe like slide up to the table and just tell us a little bit about, we talked about Hotel Indigo already, but tell us a little bit about Hotel Indigo. You said you have some needs. This is going out to a big community. So there's a lot of people that probably know some people that are looking for exactly that piece, but we super appreciate you hosting us here.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about Hotel Indigo.
Okay, I will do that. I am Erica Kaler. I am the Director of Sales and Marketing here at Hotel Indigo, and I wear some other hats as well. I'm putting it out there right now that we are hiring. We have a multitude of part-time positions available here at the hotel. Housekeeping, front desk, night audit, valet, you name it. We have openings. So if you know someone who is responsible. We kind of prefer over 21, but you know, we're willing to fudge if we get the right person. We'd love to have some dependable people come to work for us. We are open to people who are maybe in college and just need a summer job. That's fine as well. And we are hiring immediately. So we're very busy. We've gotten busier and it's not gonna get lighter as the summer goes on. So we're gonna need more people. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'd highlight also, like, you introduced me to Dylan, not physically, but you mentioned him, and then Christine brought it, so like,
Yep.
super supportive of the arts. That alley that we're talking about is gonna be literally out these doors behind me.
Yeah, that's right.
So much going on in the art scene local here, and I love that Hotel Indigo is at the center of all
Me
of
too.
that, for sure.
Yeah, Dylan's my bestie.
I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for the Indigo, like physically and literally.
Nice. Yeah, awesome.
I had a question about the hotel. So what's like a little background about Hotel Indigo has it been here forever, or is this kind of like a revitalization, kind of relaunch, or what's this backstory?
So I'll just give you a real quick history. We opened in 1911 as one of 22 single room occupancy hotels downtown that were really here for the miners, the railroad workers, the loggers, all those people. And so the rooms were very basic. They did not have their own bathrooms. The bathrooms were down the hall. But it was the Willard Hotel then, and that floor that you see in the lobby, the checkerboard floor, that is original from
Wow.
1911.
Wow.
Most of the woodwork is original. The rooms are much bigger now and they do have their own bathrooms. We went from 240 rooms to 108 rooms. So they're beautiful. We do have a full service restaurant, coffee bar, we have banquet services, we have a couple of conference rooms, private dining room, that kind of thing. So think of us for your events. We've got 2 events in-house today, and I had to leave to go talk to the mother of the groom for a rehearsal dinner we have coming up. So quite a few different things that we can do here. We love to be part of the community and not just for out of towners, but for people that live here as well. So.
Love it. Awesome.
I think there wasn't Jazz Fridays.
Yeah, we have live jazz every Friday and Saturday night. Friday nights, it's Imagine Jazz from 8 to 10, and we do that in partnership with NPR. And then Saturday nights, we work with the Hot Club of Spokane, and they bring in kind of different groups every Saturday, 8 to 10. And we've expanded our hours a little bit for the summer. We're open every morning from 6:30 to 10:30 for breakfast, and then every night from 4 o'clock to 10, except Saturdays and Sundays where we're open until 11. So, yeah, we'd love to have you.
Very good. All right, well, we're at the point where we need to start wrapping up. So Christine, can you tell us a little bit about next month,
Yes.
who we have and?
Absolutely. So next month, we're gonna be speaking with a really good friend of mine, Julia from the Tipsy Vine. The Tipsy Vine is a curated wine club and tasting room out in Green Acres and primarily only sources Washington wine. So you can go in there and try wine from, I think, any of Washington's 36 unique growing regions for wine. And get to learn the stories behind what makes these wineries so great. And then, yeah, it's gonna be really wonderful.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, I'm gonna, do you have something? No, okay. Dylan, Christine, thank you so much for sharing, and we could keep going for another 3 hours with this topic, and I'm sure that each of us will kind of carry this conversation into our next conversation, but thank you. That was just absolutely amazing. Fantastic. Rob with Idic Designs, thank you for lunch, and Hotel Indigo for that partnership and making that happen. And then Hotel Indigo, thank you for hosting us here.
Glad to have you.
It's great. We will be back here next month. And I think that's pretty much, we were talking about First Fridays. That's one of the reasons that we're doing that here at this time, is that this is First Friday. So go find an art gallery, enjoy, and to.
After Big City Art Gallery.
Yeah.
Now, are we going to Big City after this for a tour?
Yes.
Okay, so a couple of us are gonna go check out Big City Art. If you're in the area, come on down, and if you're here in the room and can do that. We do have a new website that is not quite deployed, ready to roll. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
It's in beta.
It's very, very, very close to being pushed out, so keep your ear open for updates on that, and we will see you all next week.
Wonderful.